surprised to learn that we actually do get snow in April all the way down into Virginia, even into, or not April, but spring, March, early April, into South Carolina or North Carolina even. So I was looking at some of the averages, and you actually average a tiny bit of snow here. So it does happen. It's just that it doesn't happen every year. So let's take a look at where we're going to be finding the precip. So this is Saturday early in the day, and we're going to see rain to start, rain into Louisville. Indianapolis could be like a rain-snow mix kind of thing, and watching that cold air. So the cold air is off to the north, and Jim showed you where that was. That is seeping in, and as we pile up the cold air, getting more in the vertical, then we'll have that change over to all snow, and we'll see that in Indy likely, Cincinnati, Louisville right on the edge, but looks like more rain. We go to Charleston, snow, Richmond rain, but in western Virginia, we've got snow in the forecast. And just like Jim talked about, it's going to be a narrow corridor of very heavy snowfall where you get it, so it will add up. Look at this. Mountains will help too. Mountains will give us, maybe up to a foot. But even in Roanoke, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Here we go from Winter Storm Uma. All right, it's been like 6 months since we've really had any significant rain across the panhandle of Texas, western Oklahoma, and Kansas. This is where the extreme fire danger is today. It's not often we get to that extreme level. So this is real concerning. That includes around the Amarillo area. Ranchers, farmers, you guys have known for months that we needed the rainfall. But now I think everyone is really starting to take notice. And this is an extreme situation. So when we get to the extreme situation, fires can start quickly, they spread furiously, and they may become unmanageable. The wind is going to be a big factor. The ground is dry. We know that. The air is dry and actually gets warm into the afternoon. The dew points are not coming up here, so we'll have some very low relative humidity. Temperatures are going to be hot out there. And this is an area that has been months without much rainfall, if any, actually. So the exceptional drought has now worked into this area. Look at Amarillo. I mean, these stats. We did have a tiny bit of rain February 17th. It really wasn't much. You have to go back to before October for any significant rain, Jim. And now that we get storms, they're not coming here.
More on that. Here's Jen.
We were just talking about there's no place really that's warm. I mean, it was so many cool February. But it's been warm off and on a little bit here in Texas, and we're going to get the warm today. In fact, we heat up West Texas. If you were just watching, I showed you some of the record heat that's coming in. This won't be record breaking, but we got some warmth over the weekend. And then into early next week, we do have temperatures heading up into the upper 70s. That's warm. But with it comes thunderstorms. So dew points are coming back up. The rain will come in as well. And then when the front comes through, we'll cool down about 10 degrees into your Wednesday and Thursday. All right, so we start with the weekend. And today's the setup, or tomorrow, I guess. My days are confused, but tomorrow's the setup day. Tomorrow's Saturday. We get into Sunday, and then we're going to see that risk of thunderstorms. There is the chance for severe weather. Now, it's an isolated risk. It's not a huge outbreak type of situation, but certainly there is that chance. Look, we are in late March, and this is the season where we start seeing thunderstorms really get going. We'll see that risk into Monday with some more isolated thunderstorms in terms of that severe potential. Rain on Monday much farther north than you'll see over the weekend. So places that get snow this weekend will get the rain by the time we get to your Monday. All right, so when it comes to the Monday risk area, it's still across portions of southwestern Texas into central northern Texas. Look who's not getting the rain. Amarillo, Lubbock, we're still not getting the rain with this pattern that is set up. And unfortunately, the rain that we are getting is coming in an area that has had some decent rainfall. This ground is pretty saturated. We don't necessarily need it. We've got rain in the same area for a couple of days into the middle of this, and strewn about. I saw one report of a family who literally lost all of their bedrooms but one that were up on their second floor. Now, I want to look at where we have had tornadoes this year. So this is 2018. This is the states that have already had tornado reports. Yes, we've had one in California, which I know we don't often see, but this will be the season, right, when we get these big upper lows that come on in. And then we look at the south and east. So, states that you would expect early in the season to be active, like Alabama, like Mississippi. We've had 24 reports in Alabama, 16 in Kentucky, 13 in Mississippi. How does it rank in terms of activity for this year, and what are we expecting going forward? Let's go to Jim for that.
So we'll take it in the spring.
I actually was not aware of that. I knew about the lightning. There's a lot of nitrogen, but here we go. Interesting. You learn something every day. Love that about the Weather Channel. All right, let's take a look at your forecast today into the Midwest. So today we're going to, I think, watch the moisture return a bit. For now, though, it's very chilly into the area. And as we see everything change getting into your Saturday, first we have rain coming in. And we've got rain into Kentucky, rain into Indianapolis. But then we still have that cold air mass up to the north. So as that drains in, watch for the cold air to filter in. We could see that rain-snow mix for a while. It'd be that battle into the air mass. And we'll watch for Indianapolis to see a change over to snow right now. But again, this is such a narrow corridor of heavy snowfall that this forecast is sort of wrought with error, right? Because if it's 25 miles off, It'll make a big difference as to who gets a significant snow and impactful snow and who gets literally nothing. So right now, though, you look at where that stripe of snow is, just south of Indianapolis, just south of Cincinnati, and then over towards the Roanoke area, just south of there, where we'll get some of the bigger totals. This gets you into your Sunday early morning, and then it's March, and it'll melt pretty quickly. But let's look city by city and get you some specifics. Going in water, you think you're just going to be submerged. It's not always the case, right? In this case, the car was flipped, and he still couldn't get out. That's a scary situation.
You won't realize the pressure on the doors. It's
Yeah.
Hundreds, sometimes thousands of pounds.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about water safety through here. Of course, in this spring, we're going to have relentless rains in some cases here. But if someone falls in, and you actually witness that, don't just jump right in after the victim, right?
Right.
Because you could you both then are
especially if you've got moving water.
Right.
You know, a couple of inches, 6 inches of moving water is going to knock you off your feet, and you don't know what's ahead, right? What it could take you into.
Right. If the victim's not moving and it's not moving water, I would say go ahead, go help the person.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Get somebody else to call 911 when you're
the very first thing is call 911 and make sure that they know that there's an emergency happening. Throw something out. If there's a stick, if there's a rope, oh gosh, that would be great. Here, get something to them so you can pull them in. That's the best case.
Now, you know what? When you're thinking about stuff to put in your trunk, I always throw a rope in the back of my trunk. You just never know. I mean, just for whatever reason, just throw a rope.
Even a blanket would work, you know?
You just never know. If you do fall in, remain as calm as you possibly can, conserve energy. Try and float on your back, because that way you can kind of make your way down the river. And this is what they tell you in search and rescue as well, to kind of float on your back. You know, you've been part of it.
I learned that, and I was just thinking about the moving water. So water itself, because the water temperature makes a difference, right? Water itself, if it's not moving, takes away your body temperature 25 times faster than the air. If it's moving, it's 250 times faster.
Control your breathing. Don't panic, okay? Keep your hands, you know, kind of where you can see them. Flip and crawl over obstacles in your path, only if it's moving. If it's not, and it's not moving, I would go ahead and hang on to it until somebody rescues you. What about your pets?
You know, with pets as well. Make sure that you call 911 first. You don't attempt to do the rescue yourself.